Dear friends, so today's topic is, what is faith? Faith is something that is unknown, unknowable, a deep-seated sense that there is something unknown, some higher power which supposedly will give me solace and hope in difficult times. Most of the faiths people carry in their hearts revolve around religions. A child is born and raised by the parents, and most of the time the child adopts the parents' religion as his or her religion, which becomes his or her own faith for the rest of her life. But this seems like our faith is a borrowed faith. We put faith in something that we haven't made any efforts for. We don't know anything about it. No efforts to explore, no efforts to realize this higher power, no efforts to find out what we will rely on for the rest of our lives in good times and bad times. That means the way as it is, our faith, a religious faith, is just a piece of information stored at our mind level, just like any other information. Like if somebody asks us what country you live in, you will say such and such, who my parents are, who is my family, what is my profession. And just like that, you're going to say, I belong to Christian faith, or Hindu faith, or a Jain faith, or a Muslim faith. That is not faith. Faith is a lot deeper than that. To me, what we call faith is just a belief residing at the mind level. But spirituality says the real faith is what you earn, what should be your truth, not a borrowed truth from someone else. Especially for something big like faith, we trust others. And we naturally will, because as a child, we didn't have any decision power, we didn't have any experiences. So whoever, especially the parents, came and told us that you are a Jain, or you're a Christian, or a Hindu, and we accepted it. So this becomes our beliefs, deep-seated beliefs, but they're part of our mind, and we grow up like that. But mind is flexible. Mind is ever-changing. Same way, beliefs can change. Somebody may be a Hindu for a long time. All of a sudden, he gets impressed with the Muslim religion philosophy, and he might convert into Muslim religion, or vice versa, or a Christianity, into Jews, or whatever. But whatever can change cannot be a sturdy faith in which we can rely on. If our parents didn't tell us who we were or what religious faith we were, we would have never known. So this is the way we are living. This religious faith is just an external information stored at our mind level. But the real faith is, or at least it should be, beyond beliefs, which cannot change. So don't confuse faith and a belief. This is the biggest trap that has been set by man over thousands of years. But we need to realize that beliefs are not faiths. Because beliefs can change one person to another. And beliefs divide. As soon as I say I am a Hindu, you are not. If I say I am Christian, you are not. Divisions happen right away. Suddenly I start seeing myself distancing from you. And this is the reason why we have had so many conflicts and religious wars over so many centuries. But that's not so. In spirituality, when one meditates eventually rises high into the state of formlessness, into the state of thoughtlessness, which is beyond the mind. And mind, being divisive, is heterogeneous. It sees the differences. But the formless state of the consciousness is homogeneous. It does not see any differences. That's what they call shunya state. That's when the real faith becomes deep-seated. At body level, we are all different. At mind level, we are also even more different. But at the soul level, we are all the same, because the soul is a spirit. And spirit cannot be different, because it cannot be described. It's nirgun, nirakar, without any attributes and without any limits. It's infinite. So where would you put your faith in? In your mind or the soul? This dirty trick of the man has created so many various faiths, and generation after generations are being preached into this blind faith to the millions and millions of people over centuries. Look at the millions lining up outside the temples and churches and mosques. These religious faiths have caused a segregated human society. And this is not acceptable. This is what has led to hatred, sufferings, anger, wars. So I can say that people have been living in a spiritual blindness for thousands of years. Now, if somebody can question though, that faith itself also is supposed to be blind. Otherwise it's not a faith, which is true. So how do you resolve this dichotomy? By meditation. Meditation has an answer for this. What meditation does is, it takes you beyond the mind by being aware of your mind. Just the way you are aware of the sansar outside, your mind is aware of your body, and meditation brings you to be aware of your mind. So it pushes you into something that is beyond the mind. And beyond the mind is infinite consciousness, the soul itself. At that level, the mind stops existing because you have transcended. You have transcended the mind. So mind does not exist. You do not exist because mind was the entity that was storing your information. Your ego, your self-identification, all that has disappeared. But you still exist as the consciousness, not as your original identification. So it's a beautiful state to experience, that you can experience. So you can say in a way it is blind because mind does not know anything about it. Because mind is projecting itself onto the sansar. Mind is like a telescope. It utilizes the body to look at the world. Just like we see the telescope and utilize it to see the moons and stars and galaxies, but we cannot see our own eye in the telescope because it is located behind it. Same way, meditation takes you to a state of existence which is located beyond the mind. So from that perched up state, you can visualize your own thoughts, your own mind. So mind cannot know it, but at that level you only experience this state. So in a way it exists, but in a way it does not exist. So it still remains a faith into an unknowable entity, the consciousness. And that is a real faith. The faith which is firmly footed on the pillars of your own experience, your own self-realization. And when this faith develops, it revolutionizes your life. Why? Because at this level, you do not see any differences. You do not see the difference between you, that you were told to be Hindu or a Muslim, Christian or a Jewish. Doesn't matter. All the differences you leave behind at the mind level. So we need to go beyond the mind, and the blind faith in meditation that has been developed in meditation is not so blind after all. And that's why its foundation becomes rock solid. This type of bring peace in your life, harmony in your world, and the people around you. For this, of course, hard work is needed. The spiritual path is challenging, but persistent perseverance starts bringing the results and eventually takes you to this unified state of what they call Advait, non-dual, no divisions, and brings peace in your life and the world around you. Have a good day.